Hi, my name is John Whitehead and welcome to this week's video blog post. I'm an executive and leadership coach, and in my weekly blog posts, whether video or written, I will talk about situations or areas that relate to leadership. And this week I want to focus a little bit on stress and how we handle stress. Now, if you think about this, and in my workshops I talk about this, as humans we tend to deal with stress in four ways. The first way is we tend to get autocratic, right? We just take over and do something. Another way we'll deal with stress is we attack. And what I mean by that is that we don't get physical, but we'll say something or do something to get at the other person. We'll get at them, sort of poke a knife at them. Not literally, but figuratively. Other people, when they're under stress, will acquiesce. They'll say, sure, whatever you want to do. And you know people like that, right? They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to cause trouble, so they'll go with the flow. Even though maybe they don't want to, but they do that anyway. The fourth thing people do when they're under stress or under pressure is they will avoid. They'll ignore the situation, hoping it'll go away. So that's how most of us deal with stress and pressure. And as a leader, if you think about every decision you make is being watched by your direct reports and will have an impact on those direct reports and ultimately your organization. So how we handle that is important. How do we recognize what our own personal tendency is to deal with stress? And when I'm coaching my clients, one of the first things I do is help them recognize what that might be for them. Do they have the behavior pattern that will get autocratic? So they just shoot for the moon, go for it, no matter what, no matter who they bowl over. Or are they the type of person that just can't, they get under pressure, under stress, and they just can't decide what they're going to do, so they get into that paralysis of analysis sort of thing. So that, how people deal with it is really, really important. And how we manage that is also important. So Kevin Cashman, in his book, Managing from the Inside Out, he talks about what we want, instead of the outside in, or taking things in and dealing with them internally, we should actually be dealing with them from the inside out. We should be looking at how we deal with ourselves. It's not about the other person. It's not about the grief the other person's causing us or the problems people keep piling on. It's not that person that's knocking under the door saying, hey, boss, what do we do about whatever? It's on us. It's our ability to listen. Whether, depending on our personality style or our behavior style, whether we need to slow down or speed up. Again, understanding who you are as an individual. So we take the onus on ourselves. It's meant inside out, being present, make sure we're listening, asking questions to find out what the other person's actually saying. It's not easy. It's not simple. There are ups and downs. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all trip and fall in the potholes. But it's how we pick ourselves up. It's how we decide, okay, I need to know more about myself so that I can figure out how I counteract that stress response. Because if I'm one of those people that go into attack mode and I don't watch that, people aren't going to come and ask me. They're not going to ask what I need, what for assistance. Their leaders are going to stay away from me. They won't look me in the eye. They'll kind of disappear as I'm walking around the office or the plant. So figuring that out for myself is really, really important. And we can do that very, very quickly. I've talked about it before in some of my other videos and my blog posts. But it's figuring out ourselves first. How do we react in those situations? And then moving forward from there. If that's something of interest and you're kind of curious about it, by all means, look at some of my other blog posts, but feel free to reach out. Leave a message at the bottom of this video, reach out to me, make comment suggestions, and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. No obligation whatsoever, just feel free to reach out. So again, thank you for listening to my bit of a rant today on dealing with stress, but I hope it was helpful. Thanks again, and we talk to you next week.